very, very important. So we have a group advisory board that oversees all the countries within the region. And then we have the management team, a team of very young, energetic, very competent team members who are expertise in their own jurisdiction supporting you. That's our office in my Lavington, Mudhangari Road. Please, you're welcome anytime. We always have a lot of biscuits and tea. And Nancy here can actually attest to that, isn't it? She's never missed biscuits and tea and coffee. Please welcome any day so that we can have a chat. But what I can advise you, it's the best time to be in Africa. It's the best time to do business in Africa. Please seize this moment and don't build a small business. Build a big business with great impact. And if you're willing to go to Uganda, you're willing to go to Rwanda, Tanzania, they are incredible markets, only that you need to have proper pillars of scale, professionalism, putting in proper structures, learning how to work with people, financial strategy. Those are very critical to building a healthy and sound business that will only not give you income, put food on the table, but will last generations and have a great impact. Others, thank you so much, and I know you guys are so tired, I don't want to go beyond that. And have a blessed afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, let's clap for Ronald. Thank you so much. Just hold it right there, just in case anyone has a burning question that Ronald can take. Anyone? It was very informative. He's opened it up and he's telling us that the possibility of generational wealth is here with us. And I like the aspect that you're telling us that you're open to welcome each and every one of us, regardless of our sizes. Thank you so much for that assurance. I like it. You have something? Thank you. Not a problem.
Thank you very much for that presentation. And I want to say in Africa, women are mostly found in small businesses. But my concern now, when you were presenting your board of director, please, can you bring in a woman? Because I don't see women. So that we will encourage the small and medium-sized businesses, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll do that.
You need to scare her up, please.
So if you think you can make a very good board, please, let's talk, isn't it? For ladies, eh? Yeah, but I think at the other side, in terms of partners, we have a good representation of partners. Our firm is around 49% women, 51% men. So and the way I look at it, women may overtake men. Because they are, in our practice, because we're getting more women who are more qualified than men. And then what I've come to realize that, most people, when they say recruitment of women, they always think that they're doing women a favor. Actually, we have women in our organization, not by trying to comply, but as a competitive edge. Wow. Women are top performers at top level, especially if you support them with the right environment. We've really seen that, and having that kind of diversity is very important. I really appreciate for your advice, and beginning tomorrow, we're on track, isn't it, to implement that. Thank you.
Let's clap for that. That's an amazing comment. Thank you so much, and thank you for the response. Anyone else? If not, then thank you so much, Ronald. It's always a pleasure to have you grace the occasion. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for opening it up and telling us that we are welcome for coffee, for teas and biscuits and everything.
Thank you.
We shall not disappoint. Is that so?
Yeah.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much.
Sante.
All right, let's clap for him in a better way. More than you would clap for yourself. All right, amazing. That was great. Thank you so much, Ronald Africa. So we move on. So we are on to the next presenter, and our next presenter is Dr. Alex Musili. Dr. Alex Musili is a committee member, or rather chair, Innovation, Resource, Mobilization, and Partnerships at AMEC. You will provide insights on AMEC partnerships, innovations, and also support in attracting donors, and also summarize the discussions that we've had here about innovations. Thank you so much. Away. All right.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think I was here in the morning, and probably those who are not here when I was making the presentation. We were talking about the translating academia into industry value, basically credibility anchor. And we talked so many things. We had different presenters. And during the day, apart from the students that we paraded here and who talked about their innovations, we have also had other presenters actually, who also talked about a lot of innovations that we can be able to adopt, and we were delighted for that. But just allow me to mention, we talked about the collaboration that goes on in the innovation, and we talked about the stages, but I just want to mention the last stage, which is very important, that we can be able to take away when we are going home, and that is co-deployment and feedback. I will not talk about the other 1 and 2, but I just want to mention that. And when we're talking about the co-deployment and the feedback, we are saying solutions are piloted within the real environments, refined and scaled. And many speakers here, they have talked about the same, and actually those who have been in the industry for long. And we're saying that where this model is applied, the results are measurable. 1, there is faster innovation adoption. 2, there's stronger talent pipelines. And 3, there's sustainable competitive advantage. We at AMEC, we want to follow this and be able to support part of our members so that they can take advantage of the processes and the full processes. And what I wanted to leave you with is what often limits collaboration is not willingness, it is the structure. It is very important, as much as you are coming up with your innovation, it is very important to ensure that it follows the right structure. Why? Because if it doesn't follow the right structure, you'll find that sometimes people will say that we were conned because their innovation was stolen. Why? Because it didn't follow the structure. And what is the structure? We have to ensure that the entry points are very clear when you are having the discussion. We want to make sure that the expectations are not misaligned. They are very well aligned. And lastly, the engagement process is not very slow, because when it takes too long, sometimes you also get, you get fed up, you get tired, and sometimes people abandon the innovations on the way. And for this reason, in this forum, we have an opportunity to overcome all these barriers. Many of the presenters here, they are presented. We have heard from them, and they have got experiences. And we have said after this, you can even talk one-on-one. And that's why we want to emphasize, because it's very important what our universities are teaching, what the academia are teaching, for it to be put on the practicality. The reason being, what is being presented here, or what has been presented here, is actually not abstract research. This is facts which have been presented here. People have worked on it. They have come up with a product. There are also others we have seen here presented, which they have worked in different countries. And we are saying it is very, very important that we engage, because we are going to apply this innovation, which is ready for the industry engagement. And lastly, we are saying, we as AMEC, we are ready to play this linking role. In case you have not been able to reach either your preferred supporter or funder, you can pass through AMEC, and AMEC will create that link. This is very important, and I felt it is important for us to mention this, as people spend a lot of time, they are tired, but this is very important. As we are going to leave, remember AMEC is here and will play the linking role. Thank you very much. You may be able to reach through our president. We'll be ready so that we have a formal, structured engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. So AMEC is open to link us with all the opportunities as noted. So I wanted to invite Flora, but she's not here. Oh, you're here?
Wonderful. So we've been going on and inviting speakers on stage. We'd like to give you a moment, around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. We are waiting for the PS. He's actually on the ground floor. However, before he gets acquainted with the program, we'd like to give you around 10 minutes to just mingle around, get to meet someone you've not met. And just before the PS comes on stage, I will invite someone that refers himself to as the financial doctor. But before I do that, I want you to mingle. I want you to get to meet someone you have not. I want you to learn something from them, because we'll have an audience engagement where we'll get to learn. When you came here today, what was your expectation? Have we met that expectation? So, 3, 2, 1, go. We shall have exactly 10 minutes for that networking session. Let me call it that. And make sure you learn something, because I shall randomly just pick someone from the audience. Wonderful, wonderful. We can go back to our seats. 3, 2, 1. We can go back to our seats. We clearly needed this session. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we can now take back our seats. Clearly, we all needed more time for this, and we shall have more time during dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please take our seats. We have the PS. We have the PS honoring us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we can take back our seats and respectfully honor our key guest who's just walked in. We are networking. Welcome, welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, let's take back our seats. We have our key guest who has just walked in. Let's honor him by respectfully taking back our seats. We shall have more time to network during dinner. Hello, can anyone hear me? Shikamo. Shikamo. I will request my fellow directors to help me. Wonderful. We shall have another session. We are breaking for dinner in a short while, and we will definitely have more time for this. And I think what we have observed is that we need to create more forums for networking, and we shall do exactly that. So that engagement session will happen during dinner time. It's important to recognize that we have our key guests present. Wonderful, thank you. I didn't know giving you 10 minutes without checking your hat and getting you back on your seats. That's the price I have to pay. Yeah? We shall definitely create more time for networking. We are honored to I want to invite our president. This is Peter Mutinda. The vision behind AMEC has actually been spearheaded by Peter Mutinda himself. And under his leadership, AMEC has continued to position itself as a strategic platform for fostering trade, investment, and partnerships across Africa, Asia, and Middle East. As we continue to navigate an increasingly integrated world, his leadership reminds us of the power of collaboration in unlocking shared prosperity across regions. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome our president for Africa, Asia, and Middle East on stage to introduce our key guests. Peter Mutinda. A round of applause for our president. This one we have to give him a better clap than ourselves, don't we? He has actually brought us here today. Through his vision, we are here today, and AMEC has scaled the heights of what we are today. Thank you. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you very much, Flora. Really honored. And thank you, everybody, for holding on till this time. We appreciate so much those who traveled from very far. And to our chief guest, Prof, thank you so much. He's actually a professor, so it's so good when we engage. I don't know, because I had requested Prof to have our chair for innovation. Innovation, strategy, and partnership. Whether you can give a brief about innovation so that our Prof, who is the PS of Research and Innovation under the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, can have an understanding. Just like 5 minutes, then I'll come in to bring you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our peers, Professor Shokat, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For the sake of Professor, my name is Dr. Alex Musili. I support HAMEC as the Committee Chair for Resource Mobilization, Innovation and Partnership. In the morning, I had made a presentation on translating academia into industry value, whereby we are looking at the training of that we are doing at the universities and the product that we are producing, whether they are ready for the market or we are just producing people who are going to look for jobs. And it was very clear. We also had different panelists who presented. We also had students who are actually innovators who have come up with several innovations, and they made their presentations here. During the day, we also had other presenters who actually made a lot of presentation on some of the innovations that have worked both in Kenya and also in other countries. It was very informative, and everybody was happy. Prof, allow me to I presented 3 stages of the innovation and how we can be able to come up with a product that can be of value to the society. One of the reasons as to why people go to school, people get trained, is actually not for you to be trained to get a job, to get money. No. It is for you to get training, to get educated, to solve societal problems. That is usually the cornerstone of all the training. If whatever you are doing after you have gone through your schooling, you are not solving any societal problem, then you should know what you are doing is not what you are expected to be doing. And because of that, I had outlined 3 key stages where our innovation go through up to the area where that innovation can start working. Just allow me to mention just one of the stages for the sake of time. And that was the third stage of our innovation, or the evolution of our innovation. That is co-deployment and the feedback. And we say that solutions are piloted within real environments. They are refined and they are scaled. And through that, the model is applied. When that model is applied, we get measurable results. One, there's faster innovation, adoption. Two, there's stronger talent pipeline. And three, there's sustainable competitive advantage. When your innovation goes through that, you are sure that it is meeting the purpose. But then, what often limits collaboration is not willingness. It is the structure. If you have the wrong structure on your innovation, on your engagement, then it may not be able to work. So you need to make sure that you have the right structure. And one thing I'm very sure, the government has all these, because government has structures. And I know through your office, this is the advice that someone will get when he walks into your office and is having an innovation. Because sometimes we have, many times the young people, very talented, they have come up with innovations, but that innovation ends up benefiting someone else. Why? Because there was a problem in the structure. There was a problem in the engagement. Why? Because you never patented your innovation. So that innovation just go to someone else and it will benefit someone, and you remain there as a poor guy. And through that, when that structure, proper structure is done, it does away with what we call unclear entry points. We would be able to know who does what, and this innovation is for what. We do away with what we call misaligned expectations. Sometimes innovators will expect too much. You say you come up with an innovation, by next year I'll be very rich. It doesn't go like that. So that is a misaligned expectation. And three, the slow engagement process. When it's very clear, the engagement process can be speeded and the results shall be seen. And for that reason, we are saying that we as AMEC, we are here and we are ready to play this link, so that someone will not say that a step was jabbed, I was robbed of my innovation. And today we are saying we have in this room, we have got innovators, we have got the CEOs who maybe they are ready to invest money for a certain innovation. And so we are saying, instead of you jumping up and down, please go through AMEC. AMEC will provide a very structured way of registering your innovation, linking with the investor who is going to invest his money in your ideas, and you shall be very happy. Thank you so much, Prof. That is what we are saying as AMEC, and that's what we discussed during the day, and we are happy to link the academia with the industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alex, from AMEC, Innovation, Strategy and Resource Mobilization. And I want to say good evening once again. Good evening. And thank everybody for being here. As we come to close of this remarkable day, because once the PS comes here, that will be the final chapter. I want us to pause for a moment and reflect. Today was not about speeches. It was not about panels. It was not about possibility. It was about possibility meeting action. Again, today was not about the speeches. It was not about the panels. It was about possibility meeting action. In just a few hours, we have witnessed conversations that matter since morning, connections that are real. We came in and the PS was saying, wow, these guys are connecting. We were trying to get our way to come in. Even when the moderator was shouting, give way, give way, people are really bonding. That's real connections. And that is the true essence of this conclave. But let me say this clearly. The real conclave begins after today, because deals will be negotiated, partnerships will be tested, decisions will be made. I encourage what I call shift to action. What we do next is what defines the value of today. Your time here is defined by what you're going to do after today. It's not the attendance, it's not the conversations, but it's the execution. There are people in this room tonight who will look back at this day and say, that meeting changed everything. I pray that you may be one of them. To the CEOs and investors in the room, do not delay your decisions and that require courage. Entrepreneurship most of the time has to do with speed, urgency, calculated risk. Do not postpone opportunities that require action, because timing in business is everything. Everyone else in the room, you came here with intention. I pray that you leave here with clarity, commitment, and a decision to act. Ladies and gentlemen, the value today is not to be measured by what we discussed. Again, the value of today is not to be measured by what we discussed. It will be measured by what we do next. And I trust that what we do next will be extraordinary. Thank you. Good evening. And I look forward to partnerships that emerge from today. This session is closed. As we open up the session for the government, those who saw the posters, we said the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And instead of saying speaker, we say the government of Kenya, because we wanted to emphasize that the government is in the house. And in Kenya, to our visitors, Honorable the Prime Cabinet Secretary, we have people from different countries here. I can see Mauritius, I can see Cameroon. Maybe you can just, because sometimes it's good to introduce Mauritius, Cameroon, I'm looking, Ghana, thank you very much. Poland, Angola, they represented from the ambassador. We had Angola, we had Malaysia, and during the day, we want to appreciate so much those who have managed to hold on. And so as you come to this country, the fact that the private sector is working with the government is an evidence that your investments, your quest to trade and work with this country is a big opportunity. I had not met the Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary before, but we just had a short stint down there. And I saw the moderator texting many times, please come up, please come up, please come up. And we are all fighting to break that. And I saw other people, I could see people checking the security. I could see checking the room, and they go out. And I know they were saying, you guys are staying so much with Mheshimiwa, what's going on? Because the discussion got very heated. When I realized, as a technocrat myself, I may need to rethink and recheck my attitude towards government and government officials. And we were saying, I think it's Kamau who said that, one of our board members who said that, sometimes if we think like that, some of us who have the privilege of exposure here and there, we don't know how other people think. Because we are discussing tangible things. The things that you think you'll only talk to your fellow investor and a trader, guys, you're working together. He's talking about innovation. He's talking about paradigm shift. He's talking about patents. I heard Dr. Alex talk about it, and you are not in that meeting. So he was comparing the patents we have in Kenya And the patents we have out there, I don't know which country was that. India. India, compared Kenya. You said Kenya there is less than 100, right? And in India? One university, 300 patents per year in India. He talked about how these guys are proud of their country. When you meet Indians, I think he was schooling in Europe, you meet Indians and now they're proud about their country. And I thought these are the discussions we need to have. And so, Mheshimiwa, we are honored. We are very much honored to have, I think I can comfortably say, a technocrat, you know, very exposed working in the government, and knowing how to engage, you know, and looking forward. And he's invited AMEC to a very big event happening in May, so that we can work together and bring the public and engage with the government. These are the things we want to hear. These are the things we look for. These are the things we stand for at AMEC. And these are the things these entrepreneurs, leaders, CEOs, and MDs look for. And therefore, without much ado, I want to welcome Professor. He's a professor, he's an academia. This is very good, yeah? Yeah, in the government and working, so that you can deliver the speech. I know he said I represent the Prime Cabinet Secretary, but it's also he said I will try to see whether I have my own shoes or not. There was something like that. And therefore we said we want to hear, we want to hear. We want you to be here as well. So welcome, the stage is open for you. After his speech, we'll do the Leadership Vanguard Awards. There are people waiting for their awards here. Your certificates will be issued by the professor in the house, the government in the house, and even for the new members. We have assembled like 3 members of the Chamber of Commerce. So, sir, please take the mic.
Thank you very much, Chair, my brother Peter Mutinda. Let me also take this opportunity to recognize all the board members who are present here. And also I want to take the opportunity to welcome all our friends. I've had countries that have been mentioned here: Mauritius, Cameroon, Ghana, Angola, Malaysia. I hope I've not left anybody out. As you've had, my name's Shaukat Abdurazak, but this evening I'm representing my boss, His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, who is the Prime Cabinet Secretary and also the CS in charge of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. He really wanted to be here with you, but because of other engagements, he could not be able to join. So he requested me to come and convey his greetings and message, and I have a speech that I'm going to read. But I also asked my boss if I can read this speech, am I allowed to add 1 or 2 things? And he said, please go ahead. So I have that permission, so I hope, Peter, I will also be able maybe just to add 1 or 2 things, listening to what you've said, especially the fact that when you are here, you keep on talking about the government, the government, the government. So I want to discuss with the private sector as well. Nevertheless, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted to join you in this forum organized by the Africa, Asia, Middle East Chamber of Commerce, bringing together rich diversity of policymakers, business leaders, investors, and diplomats from across the world. I was told by Peter that you have a patron from Malaysia. I was telling him the story of how I visited Malaysia, and we keep on talking in this country, the trajectory that we have, that we are where we are today, but we were at par with countries like these, the Asian tigers. But under the leadership of His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, you know the story, the Singapore way. So we are now in that trajectory. But let me tell you, we will not be able to go Singapore without the private sector. That's why we are here. It's very important that we partner and be able to work together. The theme of your deliberation, positioning Kenya a strategic gateway for global investment and economic diplomacy, is particularly close to our hearts. It validates the emerging opportunities for Kenya to deepen its position as a regional hub, linking Africa with global markets and Nairobi's growing role as a regional finance and innovation center. And these are some of the additions that I want to add. Actually, the Prime Cabinet Secretary has actually joined another forum. I'm sure you are aware of Kiko. This is a forum that was opened by His Excellency the President, and we had our chief guest, the President of Mozambique. The good news, especially for you guys in the private sector, is the fact that now you're talking about deals, you're talking about connections, you're talking about engagements. When I was working in, the good news is Kenya has struck a deal of the tune of almost $2.9 billion just yesterday from about 10 countries, creating almost 63,000 jobs. Okay, so this is something that I think we deserve a clap. Yeah, this is something that I was there yesterday. That was the discussion and conversation that we're having. So the government is creating that enabling environment so that the private sector, both in the country and outside the country, would be able to come in and invest. And I think this is a very good example that we are very proud as Kenya. The program of the day, of course, as you've informed me, Peter, resonate with the Kenyans' broader bottom-up economic transformative agenda, economic priorities, and regional positioning. It provides a high-level platform for strategic and policy business engagement aimed at fostering investment, trade, and economic diplomacy. This is very important because when you look at the bottom-up economic transformative agenda, it actually touches on what you're talking about here. It could be an investment in areas of agriculture, food security. It could be in areas of health. It could be in housing, medium, small enterprises. It could be in areas of ICT and digital superhighways, so to speak. And I'm sure when you're having these discussions, including the ones that my brother, the professor who was here, was talking about innovation, we are always looking at some of the sectors. Of course, not just for Kenya, but we're also looking at the Agenda 2063 of the Africa Union, the Africa that we want by Africans for Africans in Africa. Okay, so these are some of the things that really we are interrogating every day and try to see how we can be able to make our contributions so that we can leapfrog this country to the first world status, so to speak. Economic diplomacy and the global partnership are central to advancing Kenya's trade and investment interests. It is therefore important for us to develop stronger collaboration between African countries, Asia, and the Middle East through structured partnership and knowledge exchange. And I think this is also, I want to really emphasize on this. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. We know countries. We've given example of the Asian tigers. We are talking about the Singapore. We are talking about the South Korea. We are talking about the Malaysians, for example. There are a lot that we can learn from them. But at the same time, they can also learn from us. And a classical example is, you all know about the M-Pesa. We had the M-Pesa money banking even before Europe. And people could not believe that is a Kenyan that was able to discover and have that innovation as well. So this issue of knowledge-based economy is the way we want to move forward. But also, in addition to that, I'm glad that you're talking about innovation, because from where I am sitting is also about innovation-led economy. We must be able to think outside the box, and if possible, we create a new box. Strong partnership between government and private sector is also very critical for sustainable growth, with chambers of commerce and business platforms providing practical bridges between policy and enterprise. And this is our work as government. We create that enabling environment through policies, but even the policies that government develop, they need and always will have inputs from the private sector. So looking at the public-private partnership is very, very critical. Input from the private sector. What is your expectation? I think Professor who was here, he was explaining what sort of graduates we are producing from our public and private institutions. Definitely, you know very well before a curricula is mounted and we start a course, there must be input from the stakeholders. And quite a number of the stakeholders will actually be the private sector as well. What is your expectation in terms of the caliber of people that we produce? So this issue of bridging and be able to work together is very, very critical. Creating a conducive investment climate will enable Kenya and Africa to move up the value chain, mainly in manufacturing and industrial development. This thought process is central to Kenya's strategic investment in agroforestry, agro-processing, industrial parks, and regional value chains to stimulate jobs and, of course, economic growth. We have almost 75% of the population that are classified in that bracket of youth. Whatever we do in this country, the question is, are we creating more jobs? And the question is, are we creating more wealth so that we can be able to expand the base and be able to have a larger cake that we can be able to benefit. So that's why it is very important that we bring in innovation. It is very important that any research that we do, any innovation that we do in this country, we always ask ourselves, what value does it have? If you like, the socialization of the science, so that we can be able to have an impact in the society and uplift the people who are in the lower cadre in terms of economic status. The opportunities emerging from this growth strategy can fully be realized if investors pursue long-term partnership that support local production, skills transfer, and job creation. We also have to recognize the power of digital transformation and innovation in driving growth and transformation. Kenya's leadership in digital innovation and fintech is a distinct competitive advantage that has demonstrated the critical role of technology as a driver of efficiency, inclusion, and economic resilience. And I really want to emphasize, under the leadership of His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, that's why he has created this State Department. This is a relatively new State Department in charge of science, research, and innovation. We used to have higher education and research. Now that has been carved out, and now we have science, research, and innovation. And in that as well, as we move forward, there is also the issue of the digital transformation and automation of the processes that the government is doing. There's a lot that is happening. In fact, we already have an AI strategy in place. Now we are developing AI sort of policy. And Kenya is taking that lead. I was telling Peter, I'll be traveling to Kigali to give a keynote on the position of AI in science, technology, and innovation, and other sort of sectors. So it's very important we identify different clusters. And here you will be talking about agricultural or agro-processing clusters. You're talking about health, for example. You can easily use artificial intelligence in areas of radiology, for example. You don't need to have radiologists all over the place. And AI will be able to facilitate all that process and be able to look at the data and be able to communicate even faster, more effective, efficient. You can do telemedicine, for example, and be able to enhance it a little bit further using AI. So the AI is there. We must appreciate. We are not going back with this. People are moving forward, and we want to ensure that the ethical aspect of AI is also addressed. So we don't want to slow down, but we want to make sure that we put it in the right place. Supporting innovation ecosystem that empowers enterprises and youth-led solution will further support growth. African youth population, accounting for over 75% of the total population, is a strategic asset for future prosperity. The government and the private sector should collaborate more in preparing the youth for the global opportunities. For me, I say, honestly, the youth is a great opportunity. But also it can be, we can also result into what I call youth quake, so to speak. So it is very important and pivotal that we work together, the public and the private sector, so that we can create these opportunities for our youth. And it's at this point I'm glad to inform you that under my State Department, we have Kenya National Innovation Agency that is actually looking at the talents that we have in this country. We are able to mentor these young fellows so that we can be able to take these innovations so that they can be registered, they can be patented by the relevant institutions like Kenya Industrial Property Institute, and then of course it will go to WIPO, and we can be able to sort of have more innovations in this country. It's very unfortunate that at the moment we are a little bit sliding down when it comes to innovations. 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, we were at position number 77. Now Kenya has slid down. We are in position number 102 when you look at the global innovation index. But now that's my task. And again, I cannot be able to do it alone. That's why I'm asking that we partner. We be able to identify innovators. They should be able to register their innovations. We should be able to provide the relevant data so that when the Global Competitive Innovation Index is released, then we take Kenya to the next level. You know, I always say one thing. If you look at the Human Capital Index, Kenya is standing at 0.55%. I know Singapore is at 0.88%. But we have some of the finest, brightest young fellows in this country. I can tell you, I have seen that. I was in government before, I went to United Nations. I have seen how Kenyans are able to thrive and how they're able to occupy that space of ecosystem in terms of science, research, and innovation. We only need to nurture that talent, and we can only be able to do that if we partner between the government and the private sector. Now, before I go to concluding, we in Kenya, we are investing heavily in harnessing the productivity of our youth through the skills development, entrepreneurship, and innovation-led employment. This has enabled us to improve job and business opportunities for the youth in Kenya and also in the diaspora market across the world. So we are also tapping. I know Kenyans in the diaspora are remitting. This is fantastic, but I also want to pick the brains. We want to gain, so that we have the brain gain, minimize the brain drain, and maximize on the brain circulation. And I think through forums like this, we can be able to have this dialogue, a discussion, and you can also be able to bridge the gap and be able to help the government where you think, we need a little bit of support there. The issue of I think has been mentioned here, the academia, the industry partnership, linking the industry with academia is extremely important. Because whatever we do, we must be able to produce job creators and not just job seekers. We must be able to produce more inventors and innovators. We must be able to change the way we approach our pedagogy and teaching in our universities. That's why under Kenya National Innovation Agency, we have developed now what we call the entrepreneurial program in public and private universities. We started with 12, now we've moved all the way to 25 universities. And we're having that conversation. We're picking it up at the high level, at the vice chancellor's level, so that you get a buy-in at the senior management level. And then at the middle level, we're gonna entice the deputy vice chancellors, the deans as well. We must be able to have a paradigm shift and change of the way we think so that we can create more jobs and be able to expand in the bracket of wealth as well. As Peter, my brother, said, I'm glad to inform you that now we are arranging a forum, and I'm looking forward to your support. This is going to be between 18 and 22nd of May at the KICC. We have Science, Technology, Research, Innovation for Society Week. And the essence of this is really to come together so that we can have this conversation together. The academia, the research, the public, the private sector, the old, the young, the present, the future, if you like, the younger generation, so that we can entice and be able to discuss some of the pertinent issue that we need to have solutions to the challenges that we are facing. Just to give you an example, today the Prime Cabinet Secretary was closing an international conference on nuclear energy. Yesterday, His Excellency the President was opening that. we cannot be able to leapfrog to the first world status if we do not have adequate, reliable source of energy. At the moment, we're just doing about 3,300 megawatts, and the big vision and the dream Kenya has is to leapfrog to 10,000 megawatts. So we can have geothermal, we can have hydro, we can have renewable energies such as solar and wind, but also we see that there is a possibility for us to use a safe, secure, and peaceful uses of nuclear energy as well. And this is the conversation that we are having, and probably around 30% in future of our energy will come from the solar as well. This is one. We're also looking at some technologies, for example, that will be able to address the challenges. It's unacceptable. Every year, whenever we have a little bit of drought, we agonize and start seeing how many livestock we lose, how many people we lose in this country. Yet we can be able to develop programs and be able to develop strategies so that we can plan it better. And you know very well, after the drought, you get rains. Okay, so we complain it was too hot, we complain it was too dry, and now we're going to complain again. We want to harness, we want to take that water, rather than it carrying all the topsoil all the way to the Indian Ocean, we can be able to have it stored and be able to make good use of that. It's unacceptable. 30 to 40% of our cereals goes into waste, post-harvest losses. So we'll be looking at your forums here. We'll be looking at the opportunities of the private sector and the government and the public so that we can address these societal issues and be able to move forward with this. So friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude by appreciating AMEC for convening this forum and supporting Kenyan vision. I encourage all of you participants to translate this dialogue into actionable partnership and investment incomes. I think, Mr. President Peter, you did allude to this earlier, and I fully agree. The work begins now. How do we move forward? And I like this idea of how you are matching with the ideas and the venture capitalists, so to speak. In the innovation space, I'm looking forward in future so that we can have shark tanks, if you like, whereby young innovators will be able to come and pitch their ideas, and people with resources like Peter here, I am sure his pocket is a little bit bigger than mine, he can be able to come forward and say, I'm going to fund that innovation and I'm going to get partnership in that. So together, let us continue working towards positioning Kenya as a leading hub for sustainable investment, innovation, and global partnership. So, God bless Kenya, God bless Africa, and thank you so much. God bless all of you. Thank you, and I wish you all a lovely evening. Asante sana.
All right, so thank you very much, Professor. It's always a challenge speaking after a very distinguished speaker and a very distinguished communicator. And so thank you very much, Professor Shaukat. This has been an honor for us to be able to host you, for you to be able to attend our event this evening. And to all the members and to the delegates who are here, you have been here since morning. And so we can't take that for granted. That has absolutely been a very good presence that you've given us throughout the day. And so first, a good round of applause to Professor for what he has been able to share. And so as I speak about Professor, from policy formulation to conducive climate, everything that he's spoken about, practically everything in every single sentence that he said, we were hanging on to every single one of those words. Because for us, when we see definite change, when we see actual government involvement and genuine government involvement, it touches us as the citizens of the country, and we feel very proud to be able to call ourselves Kenyans. So thank you very much, and thank you very much to everyone. So good evening, everyone. I believe I need to be able to introduce myself. My name is Susan Kaisana. I'm a board member at ARMEC, African, Asia, and Middle East Chamber of Commerce. I'm the newest in the team, I believe I can say that, and very happy to be here. My background is in banking and finance. Been in the banking and finance for over 20 years plus, to be precise, 29 years, which is closer to 30. I should be saying closer to 30, isn't it? So closer to 30 years. And I stepped out of banking to step into the area of consultancy, and I continue to work with the commercial banks, and I also continue to work with the regulators. I work very closely with the Central Bank of Kenya. Kerry, I think I should be speaking to you, because in the area of consultancy, we stretch ourselves and use the skills that we've learned in the corporate space to be able to share across. So that's my space, and so at AMEC, I'm coming in the virtual assets and the financial literacy programs area. And so when I hear Professor talking, I see a lot of things that we can be able to work across, and things that we can be able to tap in, and synergies that we can be able to collaborate across. All right, so mine is not a big speech. I know I'm standing between you and the dinner, and I'm standing between you and some very good presents and gifts that have been lined up here. So I call upon my friend, Flora, my colleague, so that we can be able to do this. And I think we need to reorganize the stage to get the chairs off so that we can have Professor back on the stage to give us our awards. Can I request for the chairs to be moved? Or we can use this backdrop here, all right. Okay, so we start off with the Vanguard Awards. And this is a leadership section that we've been running. So for those who are members of AMEC, if you go onto our website, you will find that we were running a very good leadership recognition award that was running for almost about 2 months, where we're looking for leaders who've made an impact in the system or the impact in the country. And so that's what we'll be rewarding today. We'll also be looking to rewarding members who've joined AMEC in the last few months. And so we'll also have award system certificates for them as well. So without further ado, let me start by putting this on this desk here, because I need them to come and walk through, and I need Flora then to get me their awards. All right. So we have been awarding, or we've been running this nomination across. And the nomination was purely to look for leaders who've made an impact in the various sectors. And so there were nominations across. And so I will start off, we'll have about 10 awards to give, and I'll start with the list. And the list doesn't mean that they did the very list. It just means that they got the fewer votes. And then we'll go all the way up to the ones who got the highest awards. All right. Okay. So we can use the stage then. Right. Will you walk across with the, you'll walk across with the gifts? Yes, yes. Okay. Come and present. Okay. All right, so as we do that, we can start by getting the very first person to prepare themselves. And this is in the sector of tourism and creative economy. We had the general manager for Argyle Hotel. Okay, so Bupandra Kumar, prepare yourself. I'm going to invite Professor on stage to give these awards. All right, so Mr. Bupandra. All right, thank you very much. All right, the next on the line is in the sector of young leadership under 40. There'll be quite a number of them. Young leadership under 40, we have Eronjo Linda. Is he in the house? Eronjo leader.
Congratulations, he has done it for you, and you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations.
Okay. In the sector of technology CEO, so we're looking at Caroline Mutuku. Caroline Mutuku, are you in the room? Caroline? Anyone who can pick this for her? Caroline? All right, so we will put it aside and we will pass it on to her. Oh yes, Professor here can pick it up for her. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. And we have Maureen Muchinga, and this will be in education and human capital. Yeah, Maureen Muchinga. All right. Can someone pick for her? Maureen? Oh, she's here. Okay.
To sing, God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations.
Right. We have Tara Mandre of Tours and Travel. Tara Mandre, Tours and Travel. Women leadership. Or anyone who can pick for her? Anyone from the Tours and Travel? Tara Mandre? She was here earlier? Okay. All right. All right. And this will be that should be a certificate for her.
Congratulations. Say what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations.
Abdul, are you in the room? And someone to pick for him? Okay. All right, thank you.
God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that. God is greater than that. Who will come back to be the Lord? Come again.
Okay, under the under the category Special Global Impact, we have Miriam Burrell, or Barao. Miriam Barao? All right. And this is
With a new song of praise, God is good. Oh, congratulations. 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 Say what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations. For you.
and so that's a grant award in
Come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. 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 Say what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations. God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that. Congratulations, rest in the glory of God. Congratulations, He has done it for you, and you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations. 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 Say what the Lord them say,
However,
and you will come back with a new.
members who've joined AMEC today, and we are going to issue them with a certificate. So we'll start with the corporate small enterprise, and I will call upon Shining Trail Empowerment to come on stage and collect their certificates.
Rest in the glory of God.
We talked about the different categories.
Congratulations, He has done it for you, and you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good. Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Congratulations. 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 See what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations.
Corporate budget.
Congratulations. He has done it for you. And you will come back with a new song to sing. God is good.
Different funds.
Yes, you will come again with a new song of praise. God is good. Congratulations.
And David Gitao is the Chief Operating Officer, the newest member. And the last one is Handmade Soko Limited in the category of Corporate Small Enterprise. Handmade Soko Limited. Let's welcome them on stage. Welcome to AMEC, Handmade Soko Limited. And you can learn more about them by going to their website on handmadesoko.co.ke. Sorry. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to just to take one photo. I'll request all the board members of AMEC to just come on stage, and then we shall officially mark the end of the event. We really want to appreciate you for being patient enough, coming in early, doing the presentation, listening to all the presenters, and we encourage you to continue networking even as you're having dinner. So we are going to open up the dinner session shortly. However, before that, we'll do a photo dump. So I welcome all the AMEC directors. Okay, I can see them here. Wonderful. So right after this photo, I'll invite all the people who got their awards and then the new members. Oh, before the speakers, I want to call all the people who got the awards. All the people who got the awards, please come on stage. Then we'll have new members before we go to the speakers. All our winners, let's have you on stage with our keynote speaker. Yeah, Peter, you can remain to represent AMEC. So we'll have all our winners. Please hold your trophies. Our photographer, we will arrange that. Let's have the new members, Lofty, Handmade Sokor, and the other one, the new members. And right after the new members, we shall have our guests from Poland, Angola, Mauritius. You know, I'm referring to you. Ghana, Cameroon, Egypt, Haiti, Ethiopia. Yes, we had quite a representation from Ghana.
goes to everyone. All right, so as I said, I'm standing between you and dinner, isn't it? Yeah, and I might lose my audience in a very short while. And so again, a vote of thanks to say thank you very much to everyone who attended today. And thank you very much for being patient, for being able to go through. As you remember, this event goes through till Saturday. So tomorrow we have the B2B. So therefore we're inviting you back again tomorrow for those who like to meet, most of the contacts that we've created today. And so tomorrow we'll be the same space, we'll sit at the same time. And also we'll have a safari. So for those who are working, there will be a safari on Saturday, and that again will be inviting you to it. So now I call upon our to say thank you to Professor for coming and to close the session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wilson Kamau, report to thanks and close the session.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I think now coming at this time, we have had a lot from our PS, Professor Abdul, and we have had a long day. And therefore, I will not give that elaborate vote of thanks because I know it has been a long day, and we thank you. So first of all, our PS, Professor Abdul, we are so happy for finding time, and not only for finding time, but for giving us quite some good insights, which have left us in a very good space as Kenyans, and I believe even for the visiting delegates from other countries. You spoke from the heart, you spoke with conviction, and we believe, as my fellow board member said, we believed in every word that you said, and we now have become one of your disciples, and we are look forward even to partnering in May and in many other days to come. So thank you so much. And also, I may not have to mention all the speakers because it will take quite a while, but all those who took time to come here and share with us in one way or another, you have made this event very eventful, and we really appreciate and thank you. And not forgetting our dear sponsors, whom have also carried a very big weight in ensuring that this event happens. You know, the Afro Barometer, and a host of others who have displayed their shops at the end, and whom we should have the opportunity for visiting, for partnering, for the new members, and for the old members for AMEC. We really appreciate for the show. And we want to say AMEC doors are very open. If you are here and you have not registered as an AMEC member, you can register as a corporate entity, you can register as an individual, and this is the only way then we can be able, to create the kind of network we want to help us continue to increase the trade across boundaries, across continents, and it is what will also facilitate our respective countries to be able to scale to the heights that we need. So you are most welcome. Information is available on AMEC's website, and should you require any clarification or additional information, there are also contacts there, both telephone and email. Please feel free to reach out to us. And for the organizers of the event, led by our chamber president, Peter, his team, and also the board members who have worked tirelessly, supported by the hotel, we really also want to say a very big thank you. So please, any other person I may not have mentioned, please, I can excuse myself that it is the tiredness for the day, but please, we appreciate everyone. I really don't want to go beyond that so that we can be able to enjoy our dinner. Dinner is served right out here, and you are all welcome to partake. Please, our president, welcome. Thank you.
Well said, and thank you so much, Mr. Wilson Kamaru, one of our board members. We appreciate so much. So, just been reminded, the PS has come with one of his strong pillars in his docket, Professor Andala, right? So many professors, technocrats in the government. Professor Andala, Andala is in the room. He's the CEO of National Research Fund. Just wanted to acknowledge his in. The PS did not work alone. And thank you so much, Wilson, well said. These international guests, some of them, they missed flights. They were paying 3 times because of what is happening there. So we really appreciate so much that you traveled to come here. And tomorrow there is networking session that is going to happen. If you want to meet the guests, you can see any of the board members, including myself. They are going to be around. You know, we can schedule for you to meet them. And then on Saturday, we are going for safari, Nairobi National Park. We always show them the beauty of Kenya. The only city in the whole world that has a national park in the country, in the city, in the national city. For your information, Mr. Powell from Warsaw City in Poland. You know, the only country in the whole world whose city has a national park. How about that? Yeah, so on Saturday, we'll have a networking session going there. Those who have not met lions like Castle from Mauritius, you can greet them, you know. So you'll be able to network together. And I welcome you to register for that networking session, you know, on Saturday. If you can see any of the board members and the team that is there, we can be able to go together, right? So from now on, it's eating time. There's a lot of food there, please, please eat to your fill, don't rush, don't go, and we appreciate that you have come. Asanteni sana sana. This session is closed with a lot of gratitude. Thank you.